stack is a linear data structure. The insertion and deletion takes place at the same n. A stack works with a basic rule called as a last in first out principle. The element which entered last into the stack will be removed first. Okay, generally there are two operations that are performed on the stack, and the two operations are push and pop, and the push and pop operations are performed on top of the stack. So, okay, common operations on stack are empty, so which is going to return true when the stack is empty, or otherwise it is going to return false. The next method or operation is size, which is going to return the current size of the stack. Then top, which is going to return the element that lies on top of the stack. Then push, which contains one parameter, so that is an item need to be pushed, right? Like this is like an insertion operation. Push will insert an element onto the top of the stack. Then pop deletes the element in the stack, so that is top element in the stack. So let us take an empty stack. So let us take this as an empty stack, and if you try to insert an element, so which is called as an push operation, while you are calling a push operation, then it should have a parameter. That parameter is a content what you need to push into the stack. So whenever you perform push operation with some data like yes on the stack, then the stack will be like this, and the stack contains yes, and it is treated as the top of the stack. Then if you try to perform push operation, and if you want to push D, then so stack will contain D as top. Then if you try to pop an element, then D will be popped out because D is top of the stack. Then if you try to push again D, so then D will come again onto the top of the stack. And then if you try to push something like yes again, so then it will also come under the top of the stack. If you pop, so that yes will be popped out. After that, if you pop, then D will be popped out. Then after that, if you perform pop, then S will be popped out, and finally stack will become empty. These are two major operations what you will perform on stack. So those are called push and pop. So they will work in this way. So implementation of stack. So generally there are two ways of implementing stack in Python programming. So one way is programmer defined way. So in this case, programmer need to define all the operations of the stack. So that is write the code for the operations. So the possible, if you think in what way you can go for writing the code or defining all the functions of the stack is by using linked list concept, that is by using single linked list or by using double linked list or by using circular linked list. So I will explain you code later. So next way is a built-in way. So there are generally different modules available in Python programming language. So by using those modules or libraries, you can implement or you can use the methods which were already specified by the built-in library in Python. So here it is specified in three possible ways you can implement the stack. So those three possible ways is by using built-in list, built-in list in Python. The second possible way is collections.dq. Then the third way is q.lifoq. So among these three ways, it is better to go with a built-in list in Python for implementing stack. So this collection.dq and q.lifoq are generally meant for queue. Lifoq generally works like a stack. It is like a queue. It will be treated like a queue, but it works like a stack. So now we'll see how this stack can be implemented by using list first. Then we'll go discussing about this remaining two methods, and then we'll go for the programmer way of defining the stack. So here I have created a module, so stack by using built-in list. Okay, so here you will use a list type which is defined by the Python programming language, right? So consider a variable like my stack. It will act like an object or reference variable to a list. Initially, the list here is empty. So whenever a control execute this line, my stack is a reference variable which is representing to an empty list. So then this remaining part of the code is in while loop. So where this while loop is always true, and in this while loop it is asking you for the choice, right? So one for push, two for pop, three for displaying top element in the stack, four is to display all the elements in the stack, and five is to exit. If your choice is one, so then it is assigned to ch, and here the condition is going to check in this if statement, and then it enters into the block, and it asks you for enter an element to be pushed. Okay, so if you enter some element, so it is converted into an integer and is assigned to I. Now by using this variable, okay, which is representing to a list, by using dot operator, you just call append, and append contains one parameter, so that is an item what you have given an input, or programmer given an input, right? So that will be appended to an empty list. So when a first element is inserted into the stack, then so this list will contain only one element. So then you can go on inserting by selecting the choice one, right? So many number of elements, so that it will be appended into the list. Then when your choice is two, then you are checking whether the stack is empty or not. So here you are checking whether the stack contains any elements or not. See, if my stack length is equal to 0, then you can say that the stack is empty. You are, for in order to find the length of the stack, you are using len of name of the reference variable of the list. So then if it is equal to 0, you will indicate that the stack is empty. If this condition is false, you are going to else part, the control moves to the else part, and it tries to display the element. And see, here you are trying to call pop method by using a reference variable of the list, which is my stack, and by using dot operator you are calling pop method. So this pop method is a built-in method in list, okay, which is defined by the Python list, right? So this pop is going to return a value which is on the top of the list. then. So that is about popping. So you can go on popping if there is any elements in the list. Now when your choice is 3, that means you need to display the top element of the stack. So first you are checking whether the stack is empty. So if the length of my choice stack is 0, so then it indicates the stack is empty, so it is going to return stack is empty. Else, so it is going to this particular part. So top element in the stack is my stack, okay, the length of the stack -1, so which is going to identify the top element of the stack, and it is going to display onto the screen as a top element in the stack. So if your choice is 4, then it is going to display all the elements in the stack. So by directly printing the reference variable, okay, so without any dot operator or without representing the brackets, right, you are just trying to call the reference variable in print so that it displays all the elements in the stack. And if your choice is 5, then it is going to exit this, break this loop, and it going to terminate the program. If your choice is other than is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so then it is going to return an invalid choice. So let us execute this program. Let me execute this program and let us see how it is going to work. So first, if you try to pop, so you should not get popped element. So if I am typing here as 2, so there is no element in the stack, so it is not possible to stack, so it returns stack is empty. In the same way, top and as well as display. So now you want to push. So in order to push, your choice should be 1. So now enter an element to be pushed. So I want to push like 10, for example. So 10 is pushed successfully. So if I want to again perform push operation, my choice is 1. So I am trying to push 20. So my choice is again to push. My choice is 30. Sorry, my element to push is 30. So 30 is pushed successfully. Now I want to display the elements. So in order to display the elements, my choice should be 4. So the elements in the stack are 10, 20, and 30. Now I want to pop the element, or I should know the top element. So top element in the stack is the last inserted element. Okay, so last in I inserted 30, so top of the stack should be 30. So if my choice is 3, so top element in the stack is 30 is written. So now if I want to pop, so the top element should be popped out. So in order to pop, my choice should be 2. So 30 is popped out successfully. So now if you try to display, in order to display, your choice should be 4. So it displayed the list. Okay, so 30 is removed and it is displayed. Now if you want to know the top of the stack, so press 3. So top of the stack is 20, right? So like this you can go on pushing the element, popping the elements, displaying top, right? You can go on popping the elements, right? 20, right? So 10, right? If you try to pop, so stack is empty. So this is how a stack can be implemented with the help of list. Okay, so apart from this, there are other two mechanisms of implementing the stack by using built-in way. So those two ways is by using collection.dq, and other one is q.lifoq. So let us discuss about these two mechanisms. So first, I will explain you about built-in collections.dq. See here, this is an example program given in Geeks for Geeks. So first, in order to apply this, you need to write this as a first line in your program. So you need to import DQ, right? Import DQ from collections module. Collections is a module, which contains DQ as a class. So you are trying to import them, right? Import it. So now you are creating an object or reference variable, and here the reference variable for this stack is I am represented here as a stack. So where you are trying to call a constructor which is defined in a DQ class like an init special method. Okay, so where you are not passing any parameters to it, only a reference variable is created, and internally a list kind of environment will be created with an empty list. Now if you try to call append method, which is a predefined method in DQ as well, right, like a list, normal list, so you can add whatever the parameter you passed to an append will be included to the list, which we are identifying that list in the form of stack here. Okay, so here three elements were added sequentially into this stack. And then so initially stack, you are trying to display the stack, and then the content of the stack will be displayed onto the screen. And if you want to pop out, so then you can pop out the elements from this stack by using the reference variable dot pop method, right? So then whatever we popped, we are popping them parallelly, right? Sorry, sequentially. And then after popping all the elements, the stack will be empty. If you try to display the stack, so stack should be empty. So let us execute this program. See, it's executed. See, this DQ is initialized with A, B, C, right? So then you have popped the elements, right? So C should be popped out. So because C is one which we have inserted into or pushed into the stack, right? Lost. So C is the one what we have appended lost to the stack. So that's why C will be popped out. Then B, then A, and then finally, if you try to print the elements, right, after popping, if you try to print the stack, then there won't be any element in the stack. So which is internally it's a DQ. So generally DQ is a double-ended queue where insertion and deletion can be take place at two different ends. Okay, all either insertion and deletion can also be taken place at both ends. So it is a queue kind of data structure. Okay. So that is about implementing stack with the help of DQ, and there is another way of implementing the stack is by using q.lifoq. So Q is a module which contains this lifoq class. So in order to do that, so I will show you the program which is given in Geeks for Geeks. Okay, so Q is a module, right, built-in module in Python. So we are, right, importing lifoq class from this Q module. So in order to do that, you need to write this line from Q module Q import lifoq, right? So L should be capital letter and Q is a capital letter. So it is a predefined class in Q module, right? So first it contains you in order to understand this, first you need to know how this is going to work. So there are many methods that were defined in this class, like collections what we have seen. See, this is about built-in methods for list type. So list is a built-in type in Python. So these are some list of methods what we have already seen while we are discussing list topic. And in the same way, when you go through DQ class in collections module, so these are the methods which were already defined in this DQ class. Okay, so append left, pop left, right? Clear, copy, count. So these are all different methods that we can use as per the requirement. So whenever we required some kind of data structure like queue, you can just import this queue from this collections module. Then you can use all these methods in order to achieve your task. So these are all some list of methods or operations defined in DQ. And now in the same way, built-in LIFO is a class, LIFO. Q is a class in Q module which defines many methods and one variable which need to be passed as a parameter when you are trying to create an object to this LIFO Q. So that variable is max size, so which will indicate the number of items that are allowed to be in a queue. So beyond that maximum size variable, it can't go beyond that limit. So this is a maximum size of the queue, what a programmer or a user can give as an size for the queue. And then empty, so it is going to return true when there is no element, when there are no elements in the queue. And in the same way, full is going to return true if the queue is reached to the maximum size. Okay, so and so on. Put is a method which will be used to place an element into the queue. Okay, and in the same way, put no weight, so which contains put, and put no weight contains one item as a parameter, so which will help us in placing the element into queue. So put underscore no weight is not going to wait. Okay, so it is not going to wait the process, it is going to um, not block this process if there is any problem while it is executing this method. Okay, so then uh, we'll go to the implementation part, code part, and see how that is going to work. So so while you are creating a stack or an object to this LIFOQ, so you need to pass one parameter. So that parameter is a maximum size, and it should be assigned to an integer value which represents to the maximum size of the stack. Okay, so then after doing that, the stack is a variable which can identify this built-in list as a empty list and whose size is 3 here in this example, right? So then you are trying to print the size of the stack by using a predefined method, by using the stack as reference variable and dot operator q size. So this method is going to return current size of the stack. So then you are trying to place some elements by using put method. Okay, and first you are trying to put A, then B, and then C. So then 3 elements will be placed into the stack, and then you are trying to check full and then queue size, right? So then you are trying to pop out the elements in the stack by using get method. Okay, and then finally you are trying to check whether it is empty or not. So empty is a method which is called by using the reference variable. So now let us execute this program and see how it is going to write. So whenever you call this q size method first, right, before inserting any elements, before putting any elements into the stack, so then it shows there are no elements, so that is size is okay 0, right? So then you are trying to put the elements, then they will be placed into the list, and then see here what is the output. So then you are trying to call the size of the stack. Okay, size of the stack, right? See here the size of the stack, and then you are trying to sorry, before checking the size of the stack, what you are trying to do is full. You are trying to call full. So three elements are pushed or put into the queue. So this queue or stack is full. So full will be returned as a true. And now you are checking this size of the stack. Now the size of the stack is 3, so it is going to return 3. You are trying to pop the elements, it is going to pop the elements in the order. So C is on top of the stack. Then if you pop C, then B will be on top of the stack. Then it will be popped out, and then finally the last element will be popped out, and finally you are checking for a empty. Yes, there are no elements in the stack, so it is going to return you true. So this is how you can implement with a stack, okay, by using built-in ways. And now I will explain you how programmer can define his own way of a stack by writing the code by using linked list. Okay, so as we know only single linked list, so I'm going to explain you with the help of single linked list. So I've written the entire code in a single program or a single module. See, this module contains three parts. One part is a class node. Another class is stack using single linked list. Single stack using single LL. And the remaining other third part is a main part, so where we are going to have choices. So in order to perform push operation, pop operation, to find out the element on top of the stack, to display the elements in the stack, and to exit. So as you know all these things, so when your choice is 1, so then you are trying to call a push method. If your choice is 2, you are going to call pop method. If your choice is 3, you are going to call top method. So in order to display top elements in the on the top of the stack. And then if you are trying to if your choice is 4, then you are trying to call display method. And then finally if your choice is 5, you are going to exit, or otherwise it is an invalid choice. So in order to call all these methods in the main part of the program by using the object, okay, so you need to define all these methods: push method, pop method, top method, empty method. Okay, so these are the methods what we defined in a stack using single LL class. Okay, so whenever an object to this class is created, then this init method is going to call, and this init method is going to assign a class variable head to none. Okay, so then isEmpty is a method which is defined in this class, isEmpty. So isEmpty, which is going to return true if there are no elements in the stack. If there are no elements in the stack, it is very simple, the head will be none. If head is checked, okay, so self dot head is equal to double is equal to none, so then it is going to return true, which indicates that there are no elements in the stack. Else, that means it head is having some address, so that is not none, so then it is nothing but it is going to return false. That indicates that there are some elements in the stack. Now top of the stack, so in order to return top of the stack, so first you have to check whether the head is none. So if the head is none, so you are going to return none, so that means there are no elements in the top. Okay, then else, so that means head have some address. So then what you are doing is you are considering this head as a temp. So whatever address is stored in head is handed to a variable temp. Now temp.link is not null. So that means you are going to traverse until temp.link is going to become null. So what is this link? So where this link came from? So this link is came from this node. So node is a data structure, or it is a memory block which contains data and link. So this implementation of stack, we are doing it with the help of single linked list. So in order to create a data node with the help of one particular link, so we have created this node class, and where it contains data and a link. So initially this link value will be none. Data is whatever the node you are trying to create, so that it should contain the data. So that data is assigned to this variable like data. So here that data you need to insert into the new node, or a new node, what a data should contain is treated like an ELE, and that ELE is a handover to data. What we have already discussed about this node class while we are discussing a single linked list implementation. Okay, so now see here, top of the stack, you are going to repeat this loop until the temp link is not none. So in order to go forward, temp is assigned with temp link. So temp link value is handover to temp, so that it can go forward through the nodes in the stack. So then whenever you find the temp link as null, so that means temp is a node which contains a data, and that temp node is the last element in the stack. So a last element in the stack is treated like a top. So its data is written by this method, top method. Okay. So next one is push method. So whenever you want to push an element, so first you need some data to be placed in a node, and then the node should be arranged in the form of single linked list. So first you create a node and assign it as a new node. New node, new underscore node is a variable here which knows the address of the node, which stores the data as ELE value, whatever the ELE value, and its link will be none. Okay, initially. Now first you are checking whether head is none. So if the head is none, so that means there are no elements in the stack. So new node address will be handed over to the head. So now head stores the address of the new node. Okay, so then else, if that is not the case, so that means there are some elements in the stack, more than one. Okay, so first you hand over the address of head to a temp, so a temporary node, and now the temporary node will be went on forward until you find the temp link is none. So if temp link is none, so it indicates that you are traversed through the last node. The temp is indicating to the last node. Okay, so in order to traverse, so temp is equal to temp dot link. So in order to go forward, so now temp is last node, so temp link should store the address of a new node, and then you are going to return. So this is about the push. And in order to pop an element, so first you need to check whether the list is empty or not. If the list is empty, so you are not going to have any element, so you are returning none. So how you are checking that list is empty? Okay, so that is by using self dot head is equal to none. So then you are returning none. So that indicates there are no elements in the stack, so you can't pop any elements. Else, so that means there are some elements in the list, more than one, or even one. So now if you see here, if self dot head dot link is none, so that means this indicates that there is only one element in the list. So if there is only one element in the list, you have to take the data which is known to the head dot data, self dot head dot data is hand over to ELE variable so that you can return that value. So this is the value you are trying to delete. You can easily identify that this is the uh, uh, data what you have deleted, and then self dot head is made none so that there will be no elements. So this case, this condition is if there is only one element in the stack, then you are trying to do this. So if that is not the case, that means there are more than one number of elements in the stack if you are trying to pop. Then so you need to pop the last element in the stack. So in order to go to the last element in the stack, you need to go for traversal. So consider a temporary variable like temp here. So initialize a head value, whatever the head stores the address. So that address is handed to a temp variable, and temp dot link to link is not null. So that is by uh, waiting at the last before node, you are checking that the last node link is null or not. So here temp will become last but one node, right? And in order to go forward in the list, so you are giving this value like temp is equal to temp dot link so that you can go forward until the last but one node. So the last but one node will become temp. See here, now what you are doing is temp do link to data is handover to element. So this is the uh, data of a node what you are trying to delete, so that this ELE value is returned at the end. So then temp dot link is made none so that the last node will be the address of the last node is not known. So temp to link, so temp is a last but one node, its link value is none so that last node's address is unknown to the list or to the object of this single linked list class. So let us execute this and see how this is going to work. So the same way as we have seen it in by implementing the same way what we have implemented in uh, list or by using list. So if you want to push any elements, so your choice should be one. So I want to push like a 10. So 10 is inserted successfully. So if I want to perform push again, so my choice is one, and my data is 20. So pushed. So if you want to display the elements, so plus 4. So the elements in the stack are displayed. If you want to find out the top element in the stack, so plus 3. So top element in the stack is 20. If you want to pop the element, so your choice should be 2, and 2 is popped successfully. So display them. So only 10 is on the stack, and if you want to find out the top of the stack, plus 3, right? Top of the stack is 10, and if you want to pop again, so plus 2, so 10 is removed, and if you try to display, the stack is empty. Okay, so this is how your program is going to work. So this is a programmer way of implementing this stack. So you need to define all the methods whatever that will be useful in implementing the stack. Okay, this is how the stack is implemented, and these are all the ways of implementing stack in Python programming language.